Hey friend, I want to talk about something that hits really close to home for so many of us, and that is burnout. I swear this is probably one of my favorite topics because I really bump up against this so much. And for the longest time, I actually believed that burnout was part of the hustle. Like if I wasn't running on empty, I wasn't doing enough. If I wasn't overwhelmed, was I even trying? I had somehow convinced myself that being exhausted all the time is completely normal, that it was a sign of my dedication, a sign of my success. But here is the truth. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. It's not something that we should be proud of. It's not something we should wear like proof of our commitment. It's a sign that something's actually out of alignment. And I know this because I repeatedly hit this wall myself. Repeatedly. When I burn out, it's not dramatic, it's quiet, it's slow. And I almost don't even realize how bad it gets until I stop recognizing myself. I'm not crying in the shower or having like a movie style breakdown. I just feel very disconnected from my work, from my creativity, from myself. And when it comes to creating content for Milky Way or interviews or classes or social media, I would sit down to edit or plan a shoot and I would feel just completely blank and empty. The spark was gone and I kept trying to push through. I'd make a new to-do list. I'd buy a new planner or a new notebook. I'd change my schedule, but nothing worked. Because I wasn't tired, I was depleted. And burnout looked like procrastination. It looked like perfectionism. It looked like constantly scrolling TikTok on my phone because I couldn't face what was in front of me. It looked like not knowing how to rest. I didn't even know how to spend my time off. And let's talk about that for a second. We talk a lot about hustle. We don't talk enough about rest, real rest, not just a weekend off or a bubble bath. I'm talking about real nervous system calming, soul nourishing rest. But to be honest, when I do have blank space in my schedule, I don't always know what to do with myself. I've almost forgotten how to take time off, like actual real time off. I've forgotten how to even have hobbies that aren't somehow tied to work or content or a checklist. And if I'm being super honest, a lot of my downtime ends up looking like doom scrolling TikTok instead of doing something that would actually fill my cup. Or power baking 4 loaves of sourdough so I can just feel that sense of accomplishment. Sometimes I do things not because I want to, but because I just don't even know what rest looks like anymore. So I'm a work in progress too, my friend. I don't have all the answers. I'm really still unlearning the idea that my value comes from being productive all the time. Slowly and gently just learning how to be. Now here's the tricky part though. Burnout doesn't always come from doing too much. Sometimes it can come from doing nothing at all. There's this version of burnout that doesn't get talked about as much. The kind that looks like avoidance, like you're not physically drained, but mentally you're done. You're overwhelmed by the mountain of things you haven't even started, and the weight of that just feels super heavy. And I used to beat myself up for this. I'd think, you're not even doing that much. Why are you so tired? But the truth is, emotional weight of constantly thinking about what you should be doing can be just as exhausting as actually doing it. So what do? How do we come back from burnout? How do we stop before we even hit that wall? Here's what I've been learning. Get honest with yourself. No more pretending you're fine. Sit with it. Name it. Burnout thrives in silence. Number 2, give yourself permission to rest and not productive rest. Actual guilt-free, soul-level rest, and let go of the idea that you need to earn it. Start small. When you're stuck in overwhelm or perfectionism, focus on one small win, one tiny task, one step forward. That's how momentum starts. Create something just for you. Take the pressure off. Make something not for social media. You could write or paint or shoot something super messy and imperfect and fun, or learn something new. Talk to someone. Don't carry this alone. Share what you're going through. It helps way more than you think because burnout isn't a sign of weakness. It's a signal. Your body, your mind, your creativity, they're all just asking for a pause, and you You are allowed to take one. You're allowed to slow down. You're allowed to recover. You're allowed to say no to sessions, and you are allowed to do nothing related to photography because you are exhausted by it. And if no one has told you lately, you are not behind. You are not broken. You're not less than because you need rest. You are worthy even when you are not producing. And that spark you've been missing, it's still there, my friend. It just needs a little more space to breathe. So take that breath. Give yourself grace, and remember, burnout is not a badge of honor, and resting is not failing. It is a power move, my friend. I am sending you so much of my light and my love today and every single day. We will see you next time.